I'm Teisha Bader with Shalom TV's news update for Wednesday, November the 6th, 2013. U.S. Secretary of State John Kerry met with Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu today in Jerusalem, where the two leaders addressed the current peace talks between Israel and the Palestinians. Netanyahu said Israel is doing its part and is concerned that the Palestinians are not doing theirs.
I'm concerned about their progress because I see the Palestinians continuing with incitements, continuing to create artificial crises, continuing to avoid and run away from the historic decisions that are needed to make a genuine peace. I hope that your visit can help steer them back to a place where we could achieve the historical peace that we seek and that our people deserve.
Kerry acknowledged that there were always difficulties and challenges in peace negotiations, but expressed hope that the obstacles could be overcome.
There are always difficulties, always tensions. I'm very confident of our ability to work through them. That's why I'm here.
After meeting with Netanyahu, Kerry traveled to Bethlehem to meet with Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. There, Kerry announced that the U.S. would give an additional $75 million in aid to the Palestinian economy to help create jobs, improve roads and schools, and other infrastructure. The Associated Press reports that U.S. officials say the aid is meant to boost Palestinian public support for the peace talks with Israel by showing them tangible benefits from the process. And amid media reports citing Palestinian officials that talks had broken down last night between Israeli and Palestinian negotiators, Kerry expressed his commitment to the talks, telling PA President Abbas in Bethlehem,
"As in any negotiation, there will be moments of up and moments of down, and it goes back and forth. But I can tell you, President Obama and I are determined, and neither of us will stop in our efforts to pursue the possibility. We are determined to try to bring lasting peace to the people of this region."
Kerry returns to Jerusalem tonight to meet with Israeli President Shimon Peres, and then he'll meet again with Prime Minister Netanyahu. And last night, shortly after his arrival in Israel, Secretary of State Kerry visited Tel Aviv's Rabin Square, where he laid a wreath on the memorial sculpture commemorating former Prime Minister Yitzhak Rabin's assassination on November the 4th of 1995. Kerry remarked at the site that it had been 18 years since Rabin's life was taken and since the possibilities of peace were disrupted by an act of violence. He said the U.S. would continue to stand by Israel and to work with both Israel and the Palestinians in order to achieve the peace that Rabin had dreamt of.
I come here without any illusions about the difficulties, but I come here determined to work with leaders, with the Prime Minister, with the President of the Palestinian Authority, to try to find a way forward so that Israel can live the dream of President Peres and of Prime Minister Rabin expressed so eloquently and beautifully in the tragedy of that day here and in many days before that.
And the Times of Israel reports that the granddaughter of Yitzhak Rabin will soon be giving American audiences a glimpse of what it is like to be part of the family of a country's leader. Noah Rothman wrote the Israeli drama The Prime Minister's Children, which was broadcast on Israeli cable last year and focused on the public and private lives of a fictional Israeli prime minister and his family. Rothman signed a deal this week to produce an adaptation of that program for American television. The American version will focus on the private lives of a U.S. president and his family at the White House. Former Foreign Minister of Israel Avigdor Lieberman was found not guilty today by a Jerusalem magistrate's court. Lieberman was acquitted on charges of fraud and breach of public trust, charges that were brought against him last year when Lieberman was accused of rewarding Israeli diplomat Ze'ev Ben Aryeh with an embassy posting in Latvia after he tipped him off about a police probe into his affairs. But the judges today ruled that this did not constitute a criminal offense. It's uncertain at this point if Lieberman will return to his position of foreign minister. Israeli Prime Minister Netanyahu congratulated Lieberman, and while he didn't specifically say that he would be returning to his previous post, Netanyahu has kept the foreign ministry post open for him. Netanyahu said today, "I congratulate you on your unanimous acquittal and am happy about your returning to the government so that we can continue working together for the good of Israel." The Israeli Air Force is prepping for a major joint drill at the end of this month, which will include about 1,000 pilots from 3 other countries and take place in the desert of the Negev. The 2-week exercise will include air crews from the United States, Italy, and Greece, who will partake in simulated dogfights and surface-to-air exercises. It will be the largest international drill ever held in Israel. Former employee of the Conference on Jewish Material Claims against Germany, Simon Domnitzer, was sentenced to 8 years in prison this week. Domnitzer was found guilty of leading a $57 million fraud scheme at the Holocaust Restitution Organization. He was sentenced Monday in Manhattan Federal Court, where he was also ordered to pay restitution of $57.3 million. The fraud scheme was discovered back in 2009, and since 2010, 31 people have been charged with being a part of it. Following Domnitzer's sentencing, Claims Conference Chairman Julius Berman said, "4 years after our discovery of the fraud, we are finally able to put this behind us and continue, as we have throughout, focusing on our core mission of helping Holocaust victims and advocating for them." Jewish leaders from Israel and around the world gathered for a 2-day summit in Israel this week in an effort to strengthen the connection between Israel and diaspora Jewish communities. The event was held under the auspices of the Israeli Prime Minister's office, the Ministry of Jerusalem and Diaspora Affairs, and the Jewish Agency. Part of the focus of the summit is to strengthen Jewish identity among young Jewish adults and build upon the already existing 10-day Birthright Israel trips and the long-term Masa Israel Journey programs, both of which are partially funded by the Israeli government. Harel Lacher, who is the Director General of the Prime Minister's office and who led the task force on planning the summit, said at the gathering's opening event, the government of Israel believes it plays a central and crucial role in ensuring the future and continuity of the Jewish people in full partnership with Jewish communities of the diaspora. Adding that Jewish communities play a central and crucial role in fighting the attacks on the legitimacy of the State of Israel in full partnership with the State of Israel.
Now everybody, if you know how we do, make some noise and goes to Dills is talking to you.
Israeli-American Jewish rapper Kosha Dills released his sophomore album yesterday. Entitled Awkward in a Good Way, the album premiered on Billboard.com on Monday, and Dills, a hip-hop artist who celebrates his Jewish and Israeli heritage and is known in the industry as the hardest hustler in hip-hop, said that it was his producer Murs who encouraged him to go with the album's title, saying, "He told me that people will take me seriously once I realize that I'm never going to fit in, and that's okay. This is your lane," he said, "and you've created it, so accept it." Dills played his album release party to a packed house at the studio at Webster Hall in New York City on Monday night. Fellow performers, all friends of Dills, referred to the night as a family affair. It was hosted by Pete Rosenberg of New York's premier hip-hop radio station Hot 97. The show featured performances from Stan Ipkiss, percussionist Marlon Sobel, tap dancing from Ben Nathan, and a special guest appearance by Matisyahu, with whom Kosha Dills has recently been on tour. Kosha Dills performed songs from the new album as well as his signature songs Cellular Phone and Span Hebrish, where he raps in English, Spanish, and Hebrew. Awkward in a Good Way is available now on iTunes.
Your reaction to the Pew Report and how you feel American Jewry.
And tonight on L'Chaim, our ongoing analysis of the Pew study of American Jewry continues with conservative Rabbi Josh Hammerman and Orthodox Rabbi Raphael Grossman, exchanging views on the topic. That's at 9 p.m. here on Shalom TV and ShalomTV.com. And that's Shalom TV's news update for Wednesday, November the 6th, 2013. I'm Teisha Bader.